Morning, y'all. So it's chest day today, push day. I'm gonna be hitting chest, tries, and shoulders, and then we're gonna incorporate some cardio in for that cut. You know, trying to lose some of that weight. We're sitting at 20% body fat right now, so bulk went pretty well. Though y'all weren't there for it, whenever I was bulking, it went pretty well. Got some good strength. But yeah, put on some mass. So we're gonna go on a cut now because that gut area went a little too far. You know what I'm saying? So we want to get that ab definition in obliques. But other than that, yeah, I'm gonna be working on that. I'm gonna do final sets of failure as usual for a cut, and yeah, 3 exercises for the chest, 2 exercises for the shoulders, and then 2 exercises for the triceps. I might change that up. I don't know right now. Depends on how I like my push day that I have made right now. But we might change it up, you know. Never know. But yeah. So I'm also wanting to thank y'all for 27 subscribers. Like, that's pretty big. I didn't think I'd get that many with the first video. I mean, that video, not gonna lie, y'all, that video was kind of crap. But I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. And I'm being real with y'all, you know. I don't want y'all to think that I'm gonna try to be someone else on camera and then someone else on at school or wherever people see me, you know, in real life. I'm Juan Mateo, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. So with that, I'm gonna do this video whenever I get to the gym. We're gonna do a voiceover video, just because I don't have my clip-on mics right now, so it's a little bit harder to do talking while working out because that mic can't pick me up really well. So it's kind of hard, you know what I'm saying? But we are gonna have to do a voiceover, so I'm gonna do that. Next workout tomorrow, pull day, we'll do a voiceover. I mean, not voiceover, a clip-on mic thing. So I'm talking while I work out, and then y'all tell me what y'all think of that versus the voiceover. Because if you prefer the voiceover, then go for it. You know, like, I mean, tell me that, and I'll do it. But if you prefer the clip-on mic, then we'll do that. You know. So, yeah, I'll put a poll on Instagram. I think you can put one on TikTok and YouTube. I have to check that. But we shall see where we go from there. And then after that, y'all should be getting this video sometime later tonight. Hopefully not as late as it was last time. That was kind of embarrassing in my opinion. But we're learning, so it's alright. Want to talk to y'all about some calories and whatnot. So when you're on a cut, you know, you don't want to be like starving yourself, because I feel like that's what a lot of people do. I mean, I have starved myself in the past. I mean, it works first time cutting around, but it's not the healthiest way. You know, your body doesn't retain as much, and then you get really scrawny and whatnot, and it's embarrassing, and then you're like losing all your strength, and you're wondering, oh, where did my strength go? Well, you starved yourself, so your body was trying to keep you alive over keep you strong, you know, keep you doing the minimum stuff, not the stuff you like to do. So don't starve yourself. what you should be doing is you should find out your maintenance calories. So for me, my maintenance calories is 2,800, around something around there, 2,800. So I'm in a calorie deficit. So I'm gonna take off 200 to 400 calories. So I'm taking off 300. So I'm eating 2,500 calories instead, because I don't want to lose weight so fast that like my body and I lose mass, and don't want to look even smaller than I am, but that I lose weight in the proper, correct way. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do that. Got a little road work up ahead, right where I need to turn. So hopefully we can get to the gym. Yeah, we'll be able to get there. Just a tight squeeze. Alright, there we go. Anyways, yeah, being a caloric deficit, prioritize protein. You should be eating like 0.5 gram to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, So I weigh 172, so I should be eating I'm eating like 170 grams of protein per day right now. And so that's a big number, It sounds like a lot, but really, when you're eating all that, you start to notice that it's not really that much. I mean, like, if you have for breakfast some yogurt, some Okio yogurt, I think that's what it's called, they have like 20 grams of protein per cup. It's a lot of protein. And it's not like it's fake protein. It's like, it's whey, and it's good protein, like nothing fake in those. And then that's your breakfast, that's 20 grams right there. And then for a snack, you have or post-gym thing, you have a protein shake with, like, the one I take has 22 grams of protein. And then you add the almond milk to that. That's like 39 grams of protein right there. And that's not even lunchtime yet. So for lunch, you have, let's say, some pork loin, Pork has like 30 grams of protein for a pork chop. Yeah. It's a lot more protein than you thought. So right there, you already have like almost halfway there. So don't stress about how much protein you're getting in, and don't stress about, oh my gosh, am I getting too much? Am I getting too little? If you get more, it doesn't really affect you. The more the merrier, because your body uses that protein to build muscle, That's why we eat so much protein. That's why everybody's like, protein. You want that protein for muscle. And then your carbs. Don't stress about carbs a lot. Carbs are your energy source, A lot of people are like, well, carbs build fat. No, carbs don't build as much fat as fat does. That's why it's called fat, So with your carbs, you can fill in the rest of your calories that you need with carbs, and then fats, like 20 to 30% fats. So that's okay, Your fats need to be like healthy fats though. So avocado, peanut butter, almond butter, different things like that. You don't want to be like, you don't want to get your ground beef 80-20. I mean, I made that mistake the other day, but that's my fault. But you don't want to get 80-20 ground beef, because that's 20% fat right there. And so you're going to have more fat than protein. You want that lean ground beef, So 93.7, 94.6, stuff like that. You want that high protein, less fat meats, So turkey's a great source of protein. It doesn't always taste the best, but that's what you got seasoning for, because spices, they'd have 0 calories. But we'll have to look into doing a shopping haul or whatever, and see what y'all think about that, So let me know, and we'll do one. We'll do a shopping haul, and yeah, we'll go from there. So Yep. Anyways, the most important part about a cut is that you're still lifting, because if you don't lift, you can say bye to your muscles, you know? You don't, at that point, you got no muscle there. You're gonna lose all the gains and you're just getting skinny, you know? You gotta work out every muscle, including those abs. I know a lot of people are like, well, my abs are worked out when I do squats. Yeah, but they're not a primary muscle. You wanna work them out primary, you know? Cardio. I know we hate cardio, but we gotta love it sometimes. So yeah, we're gonna do our push day, and then do some cardio, go into the sauna, get some protein in afterwards, nice protein shake, and yeah, do some of that, then do some posing. So, sounds good. Alright, well, see y'all inside. Alright, so first thing I do here is I get ready for my warm-up set. I'm doing 115 right now. So one of the things to notice about this is that I'm going down with slow and controlled reps. I come down slowly and then I shoot up top. This is in order to stretch that muscle really well and to get that good stretch with this in warm-up, because this is going to warm up before our entire workout. So I do about 8 reps here typically. Alrighty, so next I get ready for my working set. I have 135 on the bar, if you can't tell. And so if you can't tell, I lined up my hands to where I have straight wrists and my wrists are locked. And when I push up at an angle and come down at an angle. This is in order to get that proper stretch, as I mentioned before. Typically I do 6 to 8 reps in this range, and here I do about 6 reps, and I get ready for my next movement after this. So I get set up for my third and final set of the routine, not counting my warm-up set. Again, prioritizing the proper wrist movement and ensuring that no wrist damage comes to me. Moving the weight slowly down and shooting back up in order for that proper stretch, because that negative is more important than the positive as you go up. And so I do this for about 6 to 8 reps. Obviously, I'm a little bit lethargic, so the weight moves a little bit slower, but prioritizing that stretch is very important. Unfortunately, I did not have a spot here, so I did not get to go to failure as I wished, but I did get proper rep range and attempt to do at least 2 more. Unfortunately, I only got 1 more, and that was the end of bench pressing. Alrighty, so I move on to the dumbbell incline bench. I prefer to do the dumbbell incline bench just because of the better stretch. As you will notice, I'm doing 47.5 pounds, which is typically a light day for me, but I do that in order to get a better stretch at times. So when pressing the weight up, I push it up to my shoulders, and then I ensure that my elbows are fully bent past 90 degrees. And I hold it up there for a minute and ensure that I touch my chest just barely, just enough so I can get a proper stretch, as mentioned before. I do this for 6 to 8 reps typically, and by my 8th rep I am pretty sore. This works out your upper chest and also your front delt, and is very helpful in growing your upper chest. For my third and final set, I also attempt to push towards failure. Again, I do not have a spotter right now, so it is a little bit more difficult to push towards failure. But whenever you get a little bit more lethargic with this, I tend to rotate my elbows a little bit more outward in order to get a proper press up, to get a stretch, but like I said, a proper press up, because it gives me a little bit more momentum. I don't know if that's a science-based thing or anything like that, but it sure helps me whenever I'm doing this workout. So I try to get 6 reps in, 6 to 8, and that's the end of incline bench. For my third and final workout for my chest, I like to do the cable chest fly. Now, if you have this at your gym, 100% recommend. If you don't have this at your gym, a regular pec deck works, but I prefer this machine because it isolates your chest, and if you wanted to, you could do a single arm chest fly, which is really convenient. Here I'm pushing my chest up and pushing my butt back, so it gives me a little bit of gap in order to bring that weight forward. I adjust my elbows just a little bit in order to get that proper stretch in the mid chest and the lower chest. Doing this slowly back and then controlling the front really helps in building that chest, and the negative is obviously one of the most important parts about building a chest. I do this typically for 6 to 8 reps as usual, and this exercise I would say is one of the best exercises to do if you're trying to build your chest quickly. For my third and final set, I like to push towards failure here. I went very light on here in order to get proper reps and to get more reps out of it. Even though I am going to failure, I still control the negative here, because that is the most important part about going to failure. Whenever you're going to failure, you should definitely still control the negative, because it builds more muscle than smashing out the reps than doing that. At least that is for chest. For other exercises, that may work a little bit better, but for this exercise, I like to control that negative and to make sure I feel that proper stretch and that I ensure that I'm getting a good stretch. As I go to the final reps, I like to do a little bit of partials in order to get a final stretch and to push as many reps as out. Now, this is an exercise I typically don't see a lot of people do, partially because it's hard to get around, but it is a exercise I strongly recommend for working those front delts, a little bit of that chest, and then a little bit tricep. So this exercise is called the single arm landmine press. This exercise requires a barbell and weights. I'm doing 75 pounds here, which is a pretty decent weight, not super heavy, but not super light. But when doing it, you want to make sure your hand is pretty close to the weight, not so much that you're touching it, but that you are turning towards the weight and that you can get a proper stretch in order to feel that whenever you are pressing up the weight and moving it up and down. Again, control that negative, but don't control it for too long because you don't want to smash your arm in. Lateral raises, one of my favorite exercises for the side delts. Typically, I do 6 to 8 reps on these as well for 4 sets. I like to do a decently heavy weight in order so I can get up, but also control the negative just enough that I'm still getting that good stretch in. Obviously, it's a little bit hard to control the negative on a lateral raise, but still do the best you can in order to get a proper stretch, as I mentioned. For the final set, I like to push as hard as I can and get the same rep range, but ensuring that I am still getting a high rep height. So when I'm pushing it, I am getting a little bit of swinging in, but that is in order to get the weight up. It is okay to swing a little bit as long as you have focused on the negative in the past few sets and you're still getting a proper stretch and are focusing on that. For my final set, I ensure to push hard with the same amount of weight and to keep it going and to keep it at the same level or maybe just a little bit lower in order to keep consistency within the workout and to not break any patterns or anything like that. For triceps, I like to typically do tricep rope pushdowns, and that is because they have a really good stretch to them and that when you split the ropes, you feel that full extension in there. Again, control that negative and control how far down you are going. Lean back just a little bit in order to get a good stretch. At least that's what I typically do. And I do this for 6 to 8 reps. For my final set, I like to push to failure with my tricep pushdowns. For this, controlling that negative matters, but getting as many reps and squeezing them out as best as you can, in my opinion, is the best way to grow your triceps. That's how I started out, and that's how my triceps have grown since then. If something else works better for you, do that, but if this works better for you, I'd 100% recommend doing this and squeezing those last few reps that you can out, and to drop the weight in order to get more reps in and not just do the same base amount of weight as you typically do, and to go to complete failure when doing tricep pushdowns and give as many partials as you can. As you can tell, I just dropped the weight and I keep going until I physically cannot do any more tricep pushdowns, and I am using my body to get the weight down and not my triceps. For my next exercise, I like to do tricep extensions. So this gets the full tricep in there besides just the front head or just a little bit of your tricep. For this, I like to use a rope because when you go out, you do the same movement as you do with a push down, and you split the ropes in order to get a full stretch. As you can tell, my tricep is getting a full stretch whenever I split the ropes apart and I pull that weight down. Adjust weight as needed and attempt to go to failure for most. All right, y'all, that's it for today's workout. Make sure to subscribe and follow along for the rest of this journey, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.